Your morning workout might actually be the worst time to burn your stubborn visceral belly fat. Here is what nobody talks about. Your body has a secret fat-burning shift that runs entirely at night. Most people get this completely wrong because they focus on daylight effort instead of hormonal timing. The real key isn't pushing harder during the day, but protecting what happens after you fall asleep. Stay with me because this changes everything you thought you knew about weight loss and metabolism. What if I told you that your own biology is already designed to melt fat while you dream? No gym required, no fasting marathons, no punishing cardio sessions, and absolutely no starvation diets. Yet almost everyone accidentally sabotages this powerful overnight window before they even close their eyes. The problem isn't a lack of willpower or discipline during your busy waking hours at all. It is a simple hormonal mismatch caused by one small habit you repeat every single evening. And once you understand this single mechanism, you can test the fix literally starting tonight. Most fitness advice tells you to wake early, train fasted, eat clean, and track every macro. That formula works for some people, but many still wake up frustrated with zero visible progress. Let me introduce you to a guy named Jake, who lived this exact frustrating reality every morning. Jake woke at 6 a.m., drank black coffee, and pushed through fasted cardio without missing a day. He ate grilled chicken, brown rice, and packed his protein shakes with scientific precision and care. He skipped dessert at lunch and tracked his macros like a dedicated scientist recording lab data. He was consistent, highly motivated, and incredibly focused on his goal of losing stubborn belly fat. But every single morning, he stepped on that scale, and nothing meaningful ever actually changed. Maybe the number fluctuated down a pound or up a pound, but overall, he stayed stuck. The most frustrating part was not the physical exhaustion from his early morning training sessions. It was the deep mental exhaustion of working so hard while his own body refused to budge. Jake went to bed every night thinking he worked so hard today. Why is my body fighting me? He did not realize his fat loss was not being decided at 6 a.m. on that treadmill. It was being decided around 11:47 p.m. when he scrolled his phone eating a snack. Every single night, your body makes a critical decision to either burn fat or store it safely. That decision is heavily influenced by two major hormones called insulin and natural growth hormone. Most people have heard of insulin usually in the context of blood sugar and diabetes management. Fewer people truly understand growth hormone, and almost no one connects it to sleep and fat. But here is the secret that changes everything about your nightly metabolic fat-burning potential. During deep restorative sleep, your body releases powerful pulses of natural human growth hormone. This hormone plays a major role in recovery muscle repair, and most importantly, fat utilization today. In simple terms, it helps your body tap into stored fat and use it for energy overnight. There is just one big problem that sabotages this entire beautiful biological fat-burning process. Growth hormone cannot effectively do its job if your insulin levels remain elevated during the night. Insulin is released whenever you eat, especially when you consume carbohydrates or sugary sweet foods. Its primary job is to shuttle nutrients into your cells, which is necessary and not bad. But when insulin is high, your body is in storage mode and not in active burning mode. If insulin remains elevated going into sleep because of late-night eating, your body stays stuck. Your body does not switch fully into fat-burning mode and instead prioritizes storing energy for later. Now think about the average evening routine that most people follow without any second thought. Dinner finishes at 7:30 p.m., and then a handful of nuts at 9 feels completely harmless. Maybe a protein bar because it is healthy and a glass of wine to help you unwind. A spoonful of peanut butter or a bowl of cereal because you are still within your calories. Each of those small items may seem insignificant, but together they keep insulin artificially elevated. And when insulin stays elevated into the night, that powerful fat-burning window gets partially shut down. Jake was eating clean all day long, but every night around 10:30, he rewarded himself. Sometimes it was something healthy like Greek yogurt, and sometimes it was not so healthy. But the consistent pattern was there, and he unknowingly blocked his own nightly fat-burning shift. He was blocking the very hormonal environment his body needed to burn fat effectively while sleeping. Here is the reframe that most people desperately need to hear and actually apply tonight. Stop trying to burn more calories and start protecting your natural nighttime fat-burning metabolic window. When insulin drops low enough before sleep, your body transitions more efficiently into a fat-burning state. Growth hormone rises naturally during deep sleep, and without high insulin interfering, your body taps fat. This process can last 6 to 8 hours while you are doing absolutely nothing at all. That is effortless fat utilization with no extra steps, no extra workouts, just better timing. So what is the actual simple trick that you can implement starting from this very evening? It is surprisingly simple and does not require any expensive supplements or complicated meal planning. Create what I call a 3-hour insulin quiet zone before your head hits the pillow. That means finishing your final calorie-containing meal at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. If you go to bed at 10:30 p.m., your last meal should ideally be done by 7:30. After that strict deadline, absolutely no calories whatsoever should pass through your lips at night. Water is perfectly fine, and herbal tea is great, but no snacks and no just a bite. No liquid calories like milk or juice, and definitely no alcohol that spikes your insulin indirectly. The composition of that last meal matters a lot for your overnight hormonal fat-burning environment. Aim for a solid protein source with moderate healthy fats and avoid large amounts of fast carbohydrates. Fast-digesting carbs late at night spike your blood sugar and keep insulin elevated for hours. This does not mean zero carbs forever, but it means being highly intentional about your timing. When you stop eating, insulin naturally begins to decline, and your body shifts metabolic gears. As insulin declines, your body moves towards a more fat-friendly metabolic state that burns stored lipids. Then you fall asleep, and deep sleep begins, and natural growth hormone pulses surge through your system. Now, the environment is perfectly right for stored fat to be used as your primary fuel source. You are not adding more effort to your day, you are simply removing interference that blocks results. Think of your body as a factory that runs a special overnight shift for repair and fat. But every time you eat late, it is like flipping the lights back on and interrupting workers. The workers cannot focus on their job, and the entire overnight shift gets completely disrupted. When you create that insulin quiet zone, you are simply turning the lights off and letting work happen. You are allowing the factory to do what it was already biologically designed to do perfectly. And here is the powerful part that most people find astonishing about this simple approach. Many people notice significant changes quickly, not because it is magic, but because they unblocked themselves. They were unknowingly blocking this natural process for years with innocent late-night snacking habits. When they finally allow their body to operate as designed, things start to move in the right direction. The scale shifts downward, the waistline tightens, morning bloating decreases, and overall energy improves drastically. If you want to enhance this fat-burning effect even further, there are a few simple additions. A short 10 to 15-minute walk after your final meal helps regulate blood sugar efficiently. That gentle walk brings insulin down more quickly and prepares your body for the overnight shift. Improving your overall sleep quality is huge for maximizing growth hormone release during deep sleep. Magnesium before bed can support deep relaxation and help you fall into a more restorative sleep. Lowering your bedroom temperature slightly can encourage better sleep cycles and increase growth hormone pulses. Reducing screen exposure an hour before bed improves melatonin production and helps you fall asleep faster. Better melatonin leads to deeper restorative sleep, where natural growth hormone release is absolutely strongest. Notice something very important here, because none of this requires suffering or extreme deprivation. None of this requires doubling your workout time or running extra miles on tired legs. None of this requires starving yourself or cutting out entire food groups that you enjoy. It is simply about creating the right hormonal environment at the right time of day. Back to Jake, who did not increase his cardio and did not slash his total daily calories. He did not jump onto another extreme fad diet that promised rapid, unrealistic weight loss. He simply committed to finishing his last meal earlier and cutting out the late-night snacks. The first few nights felt strange because he realized how automatic his eating habit had become. It was not genuine hunger that drove him to the kitchen at 10:30 every evening. It was routine boredom stress and a reward for surviving another long and exhausting day. But within 2 weeks, something significant shifted, and the scale finally started moving downwards. His waist measurement dropped noticeably, and more importantly, he felt completely in control again. For the first time in years, he was not fighting against his own natural biology every day. He was finally working with his body instead of constantly working against its natural rhythms. Now, this does not mean that total daily calories do not matter, because they absolutely do. Nutrition quality matters a lot, and regular physical movement matters for overall health and well-being. But if you are already doing many of those things and still feeling completely stuck right now, this missing lever is the one that most people overlook in their fat loss journey entirely. Fat loss is not just about how much you eat, but about when you eat and your hormones. It is about the hormonal environment you create and protect throughout your entire 24-hour day. Tonight, you can test this simple approach for yourself with zero risk and zero cost. Decide what time you are going to bed and count back exactly 3 hours from that time. Finish your last balanced and satisfying meal by that designated cutoff time without any exceptions. After that cutoff time, absolutely no calories and only hydrate with water or plain herbal tea. Wind down your mind and body and protect your sleep like it is your most valuable asset. Then wake up tomorrow morning and observe how you feel beyond just looking at the scale. Notice your energy levels, your digestion, your morning hunger, and your overall mental clarity today. Sometimes the biggest fat loss mistake is not what you are doing in the bright daylight hours. It is exactly what is happening in the dark while you are completely unconscious and unaware. Once you understand that your body has a built-in fat-burning shift that activates naturally at night, the goal is not to force more effort into your already busy and stressful daytime schedule. The goal is to stop disrupting what your body already knows how to do perfectly by itself. So before you plan your next intense workout or cut another 300 calories from your diet, ask yourself a much simpler and more impactful question that targets the root of the problem. Are you actively protecting your own natural nighttime fat-burning window every single evening without fail? Because the most powerful transformation of your body might not come from pushing harder against resistance. It might come from finally letting your body work while you sleep and simply getting out of its way. Your biology is not broken, and it does not need a complete overhaul or extreme punishment. It just needs the right conditions to do the job it was perfectly designed to accomplish. The 3-hour quiet zone is not a diet, but a strategic timing protocol that respects your hormones. When you respect your insulin and growth hormone, they reward you with effortless overnight fat burning. Think about the millions of years of human evolution that shaped your body to survive famines. Your body stores fat for energy during scarcity and burns it during prolonged fasting periods at night. That evolutionary mechanism is still running inside you right now, waiting for the right signal. But late-night eating sends the wrong signal that tells your body food is still abundant outside. So your body holds on to stored fat because it thinks it does not need to use reserves yet. By stopping eating early, you send a clear signal that it is time to tap into reserves. That simple communication with your own biology is far more powerful than any grueling workout routine. The workout burns a few hundred calories, but the overnight shift can burn thousands over time. Over a full week, that nightly fat utilization adds up to a significant and visible difference. This is why some people eat the same calories but lose fat just by changing meal timing. Timing is not everything, but it is a massive lever that most people completely ignore until now. Jake learned this lesson the hard way after months of frustration and zero measurable progress. But once he adopted the quiet zone, his body finally responded to his clean eating and training. He did not change his workout split, and he did not change his total protein or carb intake. He simply shifted his eating window earlier and eliminated the unconscious late-night grazing habit entirely. That single shift unlocked his progress and made all his other efforts finally pay off big. The scale moved down, and his reflection in the mirror showed a tighter and leaner midsection. His energy soared because his body was no longer spending all night digesting food particles. His digestion improved because his gut had a long break from processing continuous late-night calories. His morning hunger normalized because his hormones were balanced and his blood sugar was stable. All of these benefits came from one simple change that required zero additional willpower during daytime. Willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day as you make countless decisions. By evening, your willpower is at its lowest point, making you vulnerable to late-night snacking temptations. That is why relying on willpower alone is a losing strategy for long-term sustainable fat loss. Instead, you should structure your environment and timing so you do not need willpower at all. Finish dinner early and brush your teeth right after to signal that eating is done for today. Remove tempting snacks from your kitchen counters and put them out of sight and out of reach. Drink a large glass of water when you feel the urge to snack after your designated cutoff. Sometimes thirst masquerades as hunger, and a glass of water can easily quiet that false signal. If you must have something warm before bed, choose a caffeine-free herbal tea like chamomile or peppermint. That tea gives you a comforting ritual without spiking your insulin or breaking the quiet zone. Over time, your body will adapt to this new schedule and your late-night cravings will naturally diminish. Your circadian rhythm will align with your eating pattern and hunger hormones like ghrelin will stabilize. You will notice that you actually feel more satisfied with your earlier dinner because you eat mindfully. When you know it is your last meal, you tend to make it more nourishing and complete. You include more protein and healthy fats that keep you full and satisfied for hours afterwards. This is far better than eating a light dinner and then grazing on processed snacks until bedtime. Those processed snacks are usually high in refined carbs and sugars that spike insulin aggressively, and they are low in nutrients, so you never feel truly satisfied and you keep reaching for more. Breaking that cycle is one of the most impactful things you can do for your metabolic health. It is not about restriction, but about giving your body a predictable and reliable feeding schedule. Your digestive system works best when it has clear periods of activity and complete rest. Constant eating keeps your digestive system working overtime and prevents proper cellular repair at night. During the quiet zone, your body can shift energy from digestion to cellular repair and regeneration. That repair process includes cleaning out damaged cells and reducing inflammation throughout your entire body. Reduced inflammation directly improves insulin sensitivity, which makes future fat burning even more efficient. It is a positive feedback loop that accelerates your results the longer you stick with it. And the best part is that you will wake up feeling lighter and less bloated every single morning. That morning feeling becomes your new motivation to protect your nighttime window again the next day. Success breeds success, and each morning reinforces your commitment to this simple but powerful habit. Now let us address a common question about what exactly your last meal should look like. Your last meal should be balanced with protein-healthy fats and a moderate portion of fibrous vegetables. Avoid starchy carbohydrates like white rice, white pasta, and white bread in that final evening meal. If you eat carbs, choose sweet potatoes, quinoa, or oats that digest more slowly and steadily. But keep the portion moderate because large carb loads, even from healthy sources, can spike insulin. Protein is your best friend for the last meal because it supports muscle repair and satiety. Choose lean meats, fish eggs, tofu, or Greek yogurt as your primary protein source for dinner. Add healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, or a handful of almonds to slow down digestion further. Slower digestion means a more gradual rise in blood sugar and a less dramatic insulin spike. This gentle rise and fall of insulin helps you enter the quiet zone more smoothly and quickly. Fiber from vegetables also helps slow sugar absorption and feeds your beneficial gut microbiome as well. A healthy gut microbiome produces hormones that improve insulin sensitivity and support overall metabolic function. So your last meal is not just about stopping eating, but about choosing the right combination of foods. If you eat a heavy carb-rich meal too late, your insulin stays high and blocks fat burning. If you eat a high-fat, high-protein meal earlier, your insulin drops fast and your body burns fat. This is the scientific reason why intermittent fasting works for many people without changing calorie intake. They simply compress their eating window and allow a longer overnight fast for hormonal optimization. The 3-hour quiet zone is essentially a mini fast that prepares your body for the overnight fast. That overnight fast lasts 8 to 10 hours, depending on when you wake and have breakfast, combined with your quiet zone that is 11 to 13 hours of zero-calorie intake total. That prolonged period of low insulin is exactly what your body needs to burn stored visceral fat. Visceral fat is the dangerous fat that wraps around your internal organs and harms your health. This type of fat is highly responsive to hormonal signals and melts away when insulin stays low. Subcutaneous fat under the skin is harder to lose, but visceral fat releases more readily with this method. That means you will see your waistline shrink and your abdominal area tighten visibly within weeks. This is not just about aesthetics, but about reducing your risk of heart disease and diabetes too. So when you protect your nighttime window, you are not just losing weight, but improving longevity. Your heart will thank you, and your pancreas will thank you for giving it a nightly break. Now picture yourself 2 months from now with a flatter stomach and more energy every morning. Imagine stepping on the scale and seeing consistent downward progress instead of frustrating random fluctuations. Imagine fitting into clothes that have been sitting in your closet for years without any use. All of that is achievable without any expensive diet plans or personal trainers or extreme workouts. It starts with one simple decision tonight to finish your last meal 3 hours before bed. Write this down right now because this single habit will compound into massive visible results over time. Your future self will look back and thank you for finally understanding your body's natural nighttime rhythm. So I challenge you to try this for just 7 days and observe the difference with curiosity. Do not change anything else about your diet or exercise routine during this 7-day experiment. Just implement the 3-hour quiet zone and keep everything else exactly as it currently is. Then measure your waist circumference and weigh yourself on day 1 and again on day 8. I am confident you will see a change because you are finally unblocking a process that was hidden. And once you see that change, you will never go back to late-night snacking ever again. This is not a temporary diet, but a permanent lifestyle shift that works with your biological design. You have nothing to lose except that stubborn belly fat that has been bothering you for years. So decide your bedtime now, count back 3 hours, and commit to that final meal cutoff today. Your body is ready and waiting to do the work while you peacefully drift off into deep sleep. Let the night shift begin and wake up tomorrow on the path to your best body ever.